All right. I think we're back. I think we're live again. Let's double check here. We're live and good to go. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Throat is a bit dry here. Excuse me. Cold weather, dry air. We're back though. Don't know for how long. We'll see how long this goes for. It is a snowstorm and a half. It is absolutely crazy out. I would not recommend driving on the roads. Would not recommend it. As I was saying before, Nick Shirley, he's gone mega viral with this one. He's absolutely blown up. This is a massive video for him. He went from 1.03 million subs to 1.18. He's destroying it. Every video he does, he crushes it. We'll get right into this. Let's waste no more time. Not waste any time here, okay? With the storm going on, I don't know how much longer I have. If it goes out again, I'm gonna have to push this back till tomorrow.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the US taxpayers' expense. And in this video we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these child care centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research. And then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years. And so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a child care not far from here in Minneapolis that has two child cares listed at the same address. And together, they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians, these groups are setting up these daycares, these child care centers, getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never at any of them. They're all fraught with violations, and even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's millions of dollars for every one of them every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses. And then, of course, we have the transportation, and a lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses. There's one building that has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe, and they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud, and they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law, which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to go confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover in one afternoon.
Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans have moved in 6 months. None of them. In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got $714,000. That's the last I have for that one. And then the other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year 2024, they got about $800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually two daycares are registered here. One of them is Mako, which you see on this sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children. Every facility that you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out right here. All right, let's go in. And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell?
Yeah, that's wild. So they're quite obviously just taking the money and doing other things with it. That's no secret there. You don't block out windows at a daycare. And that doesn't even look like a daycare. It just doesn't. Nothing about that says daycare. So, what a strange scenario, I guess. The stream briefly, I think, lost connection, but that was just an internet issue. It wasn't a power outage. So once again, I will say, if the power goes out, I'm going to have to push this back till at least tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully the storm ends soon and doesn't continue tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But this is a pretty big case. Billions and billions of dollars in fraud. Nick Shirley. And the thing is, Nick Shirley is doing this himself. You have major news organizations that aren't going out of their way to do any investigating, period. They sit back on their panels. They'll bring Nick Shirley on to talk about the issue. They'll sit there in their panel and discuss it amongst however many people. But they're not sending people to these daycares to investigate. They're not going out of their way to further look into these things. Multi-billion-dollar organizations, news organizations that get, I don't know, ad revenue and all sorts of fucking funding. But Nick Shirley and his YouTube account with his, I don't know, $200 lav mic and probably a phone or some cheap camera is able to go around and do this. I mean, come on. These news organizations are honestly no better than these daycares. They don't even do their job. And they just take millions and billions of dollars worth of revenue annually. And they're not following up with this. They're not going out of their way to send people there. It's crazy. YouTubers are doing this. Not the big funded 3-letter organizations.
Try to get in, rang the doorbell, nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here, has generated millions of dollars, and it seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There would be maybe like a playground or something outside, or...
There's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there be nobody here? And it's like this every single day. I've never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming through.
Yeah, they're coming. The word's out.
Hello, is this your daycare?
No. Can you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here. All right, let's go to the next location.
And the fraud only gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota.
And here in Minnesota, if you take a look at the Minnesota state flag, they recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia. And really quick, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI clipper has now become the most powerful AI growth tool for people to use. This so comment down below and use code Nick Shirley. 1 week free and 3 months at 50% off. And now let's get back into the...
All right, I'll leave that on the screen for a second because I steal pretty much all of his content. So if I'm going to take his content, I might as well allow him to promote whatever he's promoting. Moving on.
Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
This one, in fiscal year 2025, $1,042,059. In fiscal year 2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023, $727,336.
This next one is literally 1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open. Here we go. All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here. This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I've come by this place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever. The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally millions of dollars.
I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door.
Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check a child in the daycare.
Why?
Can I speak to a manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare.
And after a few questions, the lady went silent.
Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Child Care.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which says it's licensed for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I tried to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door.
I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cuz I need a spot to put my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
No, I work there. What's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They
Yeah.
got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When? No, when?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
Is there? Kids there? What's
How
happened?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No. Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain everything?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But
no,
you-
no.
you said you're scared of me 'cause of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now,
This is my
they're all
tax
getting
money.
mad because he's showing the
I
paperwork
don't
of
know
this
that.
business being registered as a business. 74 children,
I've
no
lived my whole
children.
life
We
here.
saw one child when the lady opened up the door.
So
But now
where did
they're
this
all
money
getting
go?
mad.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was it?
Well, they act this way because it's not a daycare, right? Like, it's quite obvious. Hi, I would like to check my son into the daycare. Why? Well, because this is a daycare, right? No, it's not. They probably have like family members in there, children of family members and relatives, and if they need to have an inspection or whatever, they might have a full class show up one day, but it's not an actual daycare. It's a front, right? And that's obviously what he's exposing here. And they're getting so worked up about it, and they're saying all these horrendous things to Nick Shirley because they're being exposed. This is how people react when they get caught. They lash out and they act unreasonable. This is exactly what they're doing.
That money
Ask
spent?
the owner.
There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner and the kids.
Well, then why are you talking
That's
for
not
the
my
owner
proof.
if you're
That's
telling me
not
to
my
talk
proof.
to the owner?
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing?
And that's another thing. If, let's say there were kids there, and now there aren't, that's definitely something to raise some concerns on, as he's pointing out right now. Yeah, that's definitely something to keep an eye on, and the government willingly funding it as well. That's a strange one. That's a bad one. Very bad.
It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
I think we're moving on to the next location. Have a good day.
As we continue to show the blatant fraud that was taking place here in Minnesota, Somalis started following us around.
What's up, Spider-Man? How's it going? Very stormy out today. A lot of blusters, and it's crazy out here right now. Trying to get by. We'll see if we make it through the rest of this video. And then a Moose on the Loose video. I already had the power go out at least 2-3 times today, so we'll see what happens.
Around the city.
And now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center. Absolutely no signage. And there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside. $5 million within the past
5.9
two.
million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Leering Center. I meant to say
Leering. Very cool. And they just approve of this. There's somebody sitting in the Minnesota, I don't know, Capitol building, whatever the hell it's called, in the local government there. And they're signing these checks and they're sending them off and they're reading the names, and did they even bother to read that one? The Learning Center, and they don't know how to spell? There's going to be some really stupid children coming out of that place if it actually is a legitimate business. It's not, though, right? It's not legit. Absolutely wild.
Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up!
said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Oh, God.
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million over
Don't
the
open up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know where
You're
the-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you. It's
going
ice.
illegally,
Don't open up.
fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up.
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are. You don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up. It's ice.
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare
Minnesota
center.
says 99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States. Get rid of all the fraud. Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there?
Where?
Yeah, it's right there. It says the child, you've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody in there.
We're gonna educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelt learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
99 children.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know where are the kids?
Right?
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that here.
seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've
8
never
years.
seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
For 8 years. For 8 entire years. My God. And they're just signing away millions of dollars and nobody's inspecting these places. Nobody's doing it. God, dude, what are they thinking down there? What are they thinking? Or I guess they're not thinking. Or they have some sort of agenda. I don't know what it is, but this is mind-boggling to me. Absolutely mind-boggling. Just as mind-boggling as our government sending, yeah, another $2.5 billion to Ukraine. like why? Why? I just, that's just another level of fraud. That's what it feels like, honestly. How many billions of dollars are we going to give them while people here can't literally afford anything? Literally anything. It's crazy. And I just had a friend tell me, I have to fact check this. I'm going to fact check it while this is going on.
And how does that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
Disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant, too. That's, if they get caught for that, it's a federal offense. I know, I studied law.
And do you think Tim Walz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? Well, heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. I mean, who?
Yeah, that's a scheme and a half. That guy kind of reminded me of what's his face from Star Wars. I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, this is what my friend was talking about recently. Apparently, Ukraine attacked Putin's residence. Now, allegedly, I don't know. The Ukraine military or whoever is denying it, while the Kremlin is saying it did happen. And if you want my honest opinion, you can't trust either side in this conflict because they're both going to try and do things against each other to, I don't know, strategically take out different outposts or military this and that. So to sit here and just believe whatever is coming out of RTV or Ukraine news, I don't believe either side. Right? Like, if we're not going to believe the mainstream media in the United States and we're not going to believe the mainstream media here, why are we going to trust literal propaganda TV from Russia and Ukraine? You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I look at it. I don't trust any mainstream source from anywhere. That's just how I look at things. Now, there's been a lot of shady shit going on with this conflict. So who's to say it didn't happen, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows, but they just love to put these articles and headlines out as they please. Kyiv launched an attack overnight using 91 long-range unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, so probably drones with bombs attached to them. Russia said it would now review its position in peace negotiations. So, I don't know, Zelensky's claiming it's typical Russian lies, and Russia's going, well, no, you guys did it. So, at the end of the day, you can't just, I don't know, you can't believe any of them. Both sides in this conflict are going to prop themselves up to make them seem not as bad. Just saying. I don't agree with what Russia's doing, but at the same time, like, I don't believe the news regardless of where it's coming from. Take everything with a grain of salt and question literally everything. They both are lying. Exactly. Exactly. And we have Trump trying to get these two to come to an agreement, and they're both just making shit up about each other. Or if it is true, and if it is true, it's even worse. Ukraine is trying to come to an agreement with Russia, wants the war to end, but then is just constantly attacking them, and Russia's doing the same back in retaliation, even though they started the conflict to some degree. Right? I don't know. The whole situation it's insane, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. The only thing I wish would end is us giving them tons of money. Since day one of this war, right? Back in, what was it, 2020? It's been like 4 or 5 years now. 2021, 2020. Since day one of this war, high-ranking generals from Russia, Ukraine, the United States, all over have said this is not going to end anytime soon. It's essentially going to be a never-ending conflict. That's what they've kept on saying. And look, now we're almost 5 years into it, at least. Maybe even 6. I don't know when it started. I can't remember. Feels like it's been going on forever now. 2020. It It was 2020? Yeah, so there you go. 5 years, we're heading into 6 years of this conflict, and they claimed back then it was going to be a never-ending war. And we're just dumping billions and billions of dollars into it, into the meat grinder. That's never going to end. It's crazy, man. It's got to be some sort of money scheme to some degree. Right? You think they would want peace. You think they would want people to stop dying, but they clearly don't, and they don't come to an agreement, and then they just go and bomb each other even more. Right? I don't know. And then we just keep sending them money to rebuild Ukraine, even though the war isn't close to ending. What are we rebuilding? What are we rebuilding? The conflict hasn't ended yet. Doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. And there's nobody that can convince me otherwise.
Who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, where? Yeah, it's just. I've never seen nobody here at all.
So how long have you been living here?
Since 2017. 2018.
You've never seen a single child walk in that building?
No, not at all.
So this daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone. And this guy's been living here for...
If you want my honest opinion, I would rather the billions of dollars go to Brazil. Like, we would get the same benefit out of it. Like, let's be real here. Absolutely crazy. Rebuilding Carney's money. Yeah. Yeah, maybe they're building Brookfields over in Ukraine. I don't fucking know, man. It's all just a big scheme. It's a big club, and none of us are involved. That's really what it is at the end of the day, isn't it?
For 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors. There's no windows either.
No.
And the only window they do have, the door, is blacked out.
Yep, I see that. I've never seen anybody go in there.
Within just a few hours, we nearly approached $20 million in fraud, and we headed over to George Floyd's neighborhood to expose more of the fraud taking place.
This place is called Future Leaders Early Learning Center, and it's licensed for 90 children. And in fiscal year 2025, they received $3.6 million. In fiscal year 2024, they received $3 million. So in 2 years, they got $6.67 million, claiming they have 90 children every day of the week, 5 days a week.
I mean,
So let's
these
find
people
out.
are making just about more money than NBA athletes.
And we don't even know if they're paying taxes, but we don't know where this money is going. Is it going to terrorism? Where is it going? But it's theft, it's fraud, and the reason I'm involved is I want it to stop. I care about Minnesota. I'm doing this for the people of Minnesota. I don't make a dime off all this time I've spent on this. I put my life at risk several times, but I'm determined to see this through and to correct what is wrong, what is evil.
Here at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring little Joey, my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork or can I check out the daycare? No? Why can't I check out the daycare?
Military's not here.
Okay, but if I can I get paperwork or anything to submit my son little Joey to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card actually.
You talk to your manager.
Okay, can I speak with somebody?
It's like she's on a different planet. I just don't know how else to put it. The brainwaves aren't connecting, I guess. I don't know. Poor Joey. Poor Joey just needs to go to a daycare. And he's being shut down at every opportunity, guys. This is heartbreaking. Honestly, it's probably better for poor Joey because he might end up somewhere else. We all know these aren't actual daycares. Come on now.
Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children.
Yes.
Why are there no children?
to up Mexico.
Would my son, little Joey, have friends to play with here?
No.
No.
Yes.
No friends for little Joey.
Yes. Sorry.
Ah, dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare.
Joey's still homeless.
Joey's still looking for daycare. And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota because of the government funds that they are receiving. I tried to check my son Joey into an autism center. We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe we could check him in the autism center. Because none of the
Oh yeah, that definitely looks like your average doctor or practitioner or whoever that should be dealing with kids with autism. The guy with the hoodie up and everything. That's a good sign.
daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number now.
Like more than 5?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, so you don't really know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like the fraud that's been labeled on the autism centers here? What do you guys do think about the fraud, or how come the autism centers are popping up?
I can't answer.
What news? Are you a news reporter?
My name's Nick. We're doing a little documentary trying to find little Joey a spot to put himself in one of these centers here, because there's
So why are you asking us about
the fraud.
and stuff like that?
Yeah, because we want to make sure we're going to a legit business if we're going to bring our little boy Joey here.
This is not a Joe spot. Yeah. But that's our number and you have to call. But this is we can't let you guys in. So.
Okay, thank you. So once again, little Joey, he can't even go to daycare, and now they won't even accept him if he has autism.
And again, no kids. Couldn't tell you how many kids they serve.
After being able to provide no evidence of them actually being an autism center in a place where a child could go, they shut the door and we headed to the next fraudulent daycare center that was just around the corner. We're on to the next location. We're still trying to find little Joey a place to go to get some daycare.
So where we're going now is a place called Super Kids Daycare Center. Interestingly, this daycare center was shut down when it was called Creative Minds Daycare, and it had received $2.45 million this fiscal year, 2025. They had to shut down because there were so many violations, and they went and they just reopened under a new license, and they renamed the center Super Kids Daycare Center, LLC.
So they got shut down, then started another one.
Literally the next day.
Creative Minds Daycare, $2.45 million got sent to this daycare center. We have empty parking lot. We do have a bus here. This is different. We'll see if we see anybody. I knocked on the door. Absolutely nobody was inside, and once again, no children could be heard anywhere. So David, once again, another child daycare center. We have a bus out here. No one's inside. Licensed for over 50 kids. No children anywhere, but yet millions of dollars every single year.
So the sign says Creative Minds Daycare. They got in so much trouble, they had so many violations that they had to shut down, and they reopened the next day under Super Kids Daycare Center. You see 3801 Portland, 3801 Portland, which is where we are.
So that's fraud right there alone.
Millions and millions of dollars, and again, the kids are missing. Where are the kids?
You'd think if they had the same address, that whoever's inside or working at the Capitol here inside of Minnesota would just say, oh, maybe that's a red flag.
They just write the check. Human Services, they got to clean out the whole bunch. They're the ones who enabled this fraud. How can you not look and say, wait a minute, these two are registered at the same address?
On top of all of the child care centers, that's just only a small piece of the fraud. What other fraud are they committing here in Minnesota?
So another major piece of the fraud is the home health care industry. Where we're going now is a building that has 14 Somali-owned home health care companies in the same building.
14 of the same healthcare companies in one building.
14 home health care companies with different names in the same building.
How bad has Tim Walz managed the budget here inside of Minnesota?
So the last biennium, we had an $18 billion surplus. This biennium, we have a $6 billion deficit. That's a $24 billion swing in one biennium. How in the world can you burn through $24 billion in 2 years? This is how, right here. This is a huge part of it.
And so would you say a lot of that is fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Absolutely. I would say better than 90% of it is absolute outright fraud.
And a large percentage of this fraud is from these healthcare companies that are charging the state millions of dollars while they actually aren't providing anything. In fact, the FBI just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we are about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 14 of nearly the exact same businesses offering the exact same services.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security, armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk to about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that gentlemen matching your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay.
So
He's here with some kind of like propaganda.
No, we're just checking.
No, this is.
He's here with some kind of propaganda. Doesn't even know the situation. Just makes a narrative up on the spot. Oh, he's here with some kind of this. It's some kind of that. Just makes an assumption on the spot. Doesn't even know what's going on. If there's 14 healthcare companies in one building providing the same service, yeah, it's probably fraudulent. Just saying. That's insane.
This is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from.
She probably just held them there so the police would show up. I don't know. Like, they don't let them in anywhere, and then all of a sudden they're willing to let them into one place. Right after that, the police show up. I don't know about that one. That's a bit strange.
There are now multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
as we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Den Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care, all of these businesses are literally the same type of business providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Healthcare Aid Inc. and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Healthcare. It just does not make sense. If you were trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition.
And that is literally just it. You don't open up, if you are a coffee shop, you don't open up a coffee shop next to a Tim Hortons or a Starbucks. You go somewhere where there's a decent amount of traffic flowing, but you're the only coffee shop, right? If you're a healthcare company, you're not going to open your company in a building with 13 other healthcare companies providing the same service. That's what makes literally no sense about this. Like, nothing about this makes any sense or adds up. And you gotta wonder who owns the entire building that's allowing this to take place in the first place. Maybe they don't care, right? They're just allowing people in. Whatever, you do this on your own time. Oh, you sell this service? Okay, go ahead. Oh, you're another daycare center? Okay, go ahead. But it does get to a point where you're like, there's 14 providers of the same service in one building. How the hell does that work? I don't know.
Right next door. We're wondering, because we hear there's lots of fraud taking place here in Minnesota, and we're wondering, why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud?
And they all know nothing. Not one of them can explain what they do, why they're there, what service they provide, what the company even is. Like, they don't have anything.
That's taking place here in Minnesota.
I don't have any idea about that fraud, okay? That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you
No, you
about
don't
the
have
fraud.
to ask me, okay? Don't ask me that question again.
Okay.
Okay?
Who can I speak to?
Yeah?
Who can I speak to? Okay. As soon as you confront them about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have these home healthcare companies, you're seeing them everywhere inside this building. What kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's false documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
So they're essentially just using people saying that they had these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and then receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
And for this building, I'm going to give an estimate of around $30 million for how much fraud is taking place. That is a very low estimate. However, still a lot of money in fraud.
And do you think there is fraud taking place here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what any of these businesses are doing?
I never ask.
And now, with upwards of $100 million,
He never asks, but why is he there? He's obviously there for some reason. Right? I don't know, man. You gotta put 2 and 2 together, and it's just very obvious what's going on there. Maybe there is 1 or 2 businesses among the bunch that provide legitimate services, but at the end of the day, you're bunched together with 12, 13 other services or companies that aren't there for legitimate purposes. And it's like, you just chalk up the whole building at that point. It's like you're all just committing fraud. Nobody knows what they're doing there. Nobody knows what they're doing there. You walk into a Walmart, you ask a person working in the produce section to help you, they're at least going to know what they're doing in the produce section. You go to one of these healthcare centers and they don't even know why they're there. It's absolutely wild. Crazy stuff. All right, we got at least another 10 minutes in this video. Got a Moose on the Loose video to go through. And then that's probably going to bring us to the end of the stream. So let's continue onward. Thank you all for joining on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick.
and fraud, we headed to one more daycare, and this one gets a little spicy as we get chased out at the very end. And after this, we'll be heading to the state capitol to confront the incompetent government leaders who have enabled this fraud to happen.
And I knew this video was going to be super dangerous to film because of obviously how hostile it is, and as we are exposing legit fraud happening. I did get security for this video, and I was able to do it through the Black Line Guardian. And if you guys want to help fund my security in the future, you can go down to the link down below. They're not paying me to say any of this. They came and decided to help me out for this video. So you can go to Black Line Guardian, the link's down below, and click Guardian for Nick, and those funds will directly go to my security and future videos as we are exposing lots of things happening, and especially with this fraud. Like I said, they're not sponsoring this video. I'm just giving them a shout out because of how they helped me. So go down to the link down below, click Guardian for Nick, and let's keep going. And now we're going to the next location. Now, this child daycare center, this one's different than all the other ones we've been to. Tell us about this one.
This one is different because, according to the state of Minnesota, this 312 West Lake Street houses not one, not two, but 3 child care centers and is licensed to hold 102 children, and in fiscal year 2025 was paid $2.66 million by the state of Minnesota.
And this is the building right here. So this building alone made $2.6 million. Let's see if anybody's inside. Now we're inside of the building where there's apparently 4 child care centers.
We met this lady and we followed her to the back of the building where the daycare was supposedly at.
So right here we have 2 child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, $2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name? Do I see the
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department?
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Do you know where the children are at?
No.
Where are the children at in these daycare centers?
I don't care.
How can these child care centers have no children?
I don't know. No.
There's $2.6 million inside these businesses that were given by the government, but there's no children to be seen anywhere. People deserve to know where their taxes are going. If these companies and these daycare centers are making upwards of $2.6 million and there's no children to be seen anywhere.
I would be moving out of Minnesota so fast if I lived there. Just saying, like, this blows up a lot for the people that are living there. For the people who actually work hard and then pay taxes just to see something like this. I mean, you either stand up and, I guess, fight for what you believe in, or you leave and you go to somewhere like Florida or Texas or wherever a red state is, because these blue states are literally destroying themselves, giving away billions of dollars in fraud. It's crazy. These people can't even explain what they're doing. They don't know why they are there. They know why they're there for obvious reasons that aren't said. But when it comes to asking them, they deny it. They lie. They manipulate. It's just what it is.
Something fraudulent is happening, and that is not make you racist, Islamophobic. This is just the truth of what's happening here in Minnesota. If there's a bunch of white people doing the same thing, we'd be talking about the same issue. This is just fraud at unprecedented levels here inside of Minnesota. It's actually very concerning. Where are the children at inside of these buildings? They're nowhere to be seen. Millions of dollars are being sent into these daycare centers all across Minnesota, and there's not a child to be seen anywhere. Here's another daycare center inside this same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask the local government, yeah.
Oh, we've asked. We have the paper here. So we're wondering where the money and where the children are at. We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have. She doesn't have permission to record me.
No, you cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have nothing to do with this. You
Okay.
understand?
Then are there
So
children?
leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center.
You ask whoever you think is doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. So leave. Leave.
Tell us what's happening here then.
I said leave.
We're wondering what's
We
happening.
are not a child care. We are nothing to do with it. We're common people walking. And
Yes.
It always makes me laugh when the person or whoever losing their mind pulls out their phone and starts to record Nick Shirley as if he isn't recording the entire event already. It wouldn't be like they record so they could get their point of view, right? In case Nick Shirley was to cut up the video and take it out of context. But it wouldn't benefit him if he did so. And it makes me laugh every time. Oh, I'm going to pull out my phone and start recording you because you're recording me. Just in case you take things out of context, which, once again, it wouldn't benefit Nick Shirley to do so. In a documentary like this, you want to get literally every minute you can. Especially when they're losing their minds. It's pure comedy gold. Yeah, it's funny how they act very peaceful, or they claim to be peaceful. Yeah, trust me, I know, I agree.
We're not accusing you. We're asking where the children are at.
Don't ask me anything.
We're not accusing you. We're asking the daycare center.
He just starts filming them. I guess it's maybe so he can send it to people he knows, and then, hey, next time you see this guy on the street, be aware not to talk to him, sort of thing. I guess anything is possible at that point, but it always makes me laugh when they pull out their phones.
I am not going to answer. You have.
Where are the children at?
Leave. Leave.
We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the Minnesota
right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer
You're
the
not
question.
talking
Are
to
there
the right
children?
person. Leave.
There's no children inside this
You
building.
don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at? David, they won't even answer. We asked him, plain and simple, where are the children? Do children come here?
This is why I've had my life. I've been attacked twice. Once with a knife, and the other time I was jumped last Saturday by 3 Somali men simply for asking questions about what was going on. And they're very, very violent people. They do not like this fraud to be exposed.
After giving this man plenty of opportunities to answer the simple question, where are the children, he called the cops on us and we headed to the state capitol where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront the state representatives and people in the government who have enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue, so I went and confronted her after that.
Yes, but I'm.
He has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name's Nick Shirley. Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
I think the fact that
Because
you're talking about it as a partisan issue.
Well, because that's what I heard you
shows
talking
me-
about. That
I know what I said is that
because
what we're talking
we want
about
to build,
is
we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
no. I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
Sir,
is not.
sir,
When are you gonna hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me?
Yes. Are you?
If you're gonna talk to me like
Are you
that.
gonna say to her, I'm a disability advocate?
I heard you, and
get
you got a chance
overstimulated.
to testify.
Thank you for testifying today.
No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue.
And there's your answer to why all this is happening. Because you have people who would rather talk about their feelings after being confronted on said issue. Well, you're talking to me in this manner and you're confronted. Like, get fucking real, lady. Come on. Billions of dollars disappearing to God knows where. You want to sit here and talk about your feelings? His tone of voice? It's just... You wonder why these things happen. You have soft people in charge. Right? That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. The Democrats, they're a bunch of lunatics. And they just allow this stuff to happen.
How come you think fraud has been...
They do. They all sound the same. They all sound the same. And I love how the other Democrat came in to try and save her. And it's just wild, man.
able to happen so much underneath
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here.
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who, both Democrat and Republicans. I
Yes.
think what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration. We have is fraud. Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue.
He opens the door. No way. That was insane. He blocked her from going through and then opened the door with his back. That was amazing. Hey, one more time. That was 11 out of 10.
Have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue. And so, again, it is not a partisan issue. There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that.
Thank you for coming today.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well, you saw what happened
the
there?
state of Minnesota that we live in, and these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump. They want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my.
I have no idea where this guy came out of. He just appeared. That was wild.
Little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking doesn't care.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Tim Walz doesn't give a shit, dude. Tim Walz is an idiot. All right, we're moving on to
some of these guys who
the latest Moose on the Loose video. Shout out to Nick Shirley. He's the only one doing that kind of stuff. He's the only one going around and doing that kind of stuff. So major shout out to him. Let's see what Moose on the Loose has to say. Canadian politics time. Enough of the craziness over there.
some of these guys who had turned their buddies in for a steak dinner, let alone millions of dollars.
The media has been caught lying. Welcome back to Moose on Loose. My name's David. Today we've got two instances of the media caught lying or fear-mongering Canadians, trying to scare Canadians with the weather. We've got two extremes here, both hot and cold. We also have a heartbreaking story of a man perishing, waiting for emergency care at the hospital, among some other stories. Let's jump into this. In the news here, we got Mark Carney, who met with Vladimir Zelensky just a couple days ago, and we also have Donald Trump, who just met with him as well.
The attack on Kyiv shows just how important it is that we stand with Ukraine during this difficult time, and that we create the conditions for this just and lasting peace and a true reconstruction.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever happening. So Putin, once again, in the midst of these talks, keeps attacking Ukraine. We also have Donald Trump saying that they're close to getting a deal.
Gotta make a deal. We get it done. Too many people dying. And I think both presidents want to make a deal. I'm going to brief you on what's going on. Depends. I do believe that we have the makings of a deal. It's good for Ukraine, good for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know how much Putin wants to make a deal if he keeps attacking while they're having peace talks. Peace talks? They'll make a deal and Zelensky will keep 2.5 billion Carney just gave him. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. With all that said, we've got this footage that's been...
Well, hold on. The idea that if them making a deal would return the 2.5 billion, that's not how that was going to work anyway. Carney already said he was for the rebuilding efforts of Ukraine, and they're going to send more. So this idea that we were going to get the 2.5 billion back if a deal was accepted, that's not the case. That was never the case, actually. They've never claimed that. Any money that goes there, we're not ever seeing it again. I just want to make that entirely clear. I don't know where this idea of Ukraine sending us billions back. Are you for real? Come on now. That money is long gone. That money is gone. I didn't watch this meeting between Trump and Zelensky. I didn't really care too much about it. I heard it was another awkward exchange, like very typical. I don't know, just Zelensky being a fool. But yeah, it went to Brazil. Probably did. Like I said, I would rather it go to Brazil.
Blowing up around social media. This is a ski hill in Ukraine.
It's the most wonderful.
Okay, so we can't have music in there as usual, but yeah, just a normal ski hill. This is in Ukraine. People in outrage because they're like, oh, people are skiing. There's an event going on there, a conflict, and people are out there skiing.
Gay happy meetings when friends come.
Not all of Ukraine is shut down. Western Ukraine is operating as normal. It's Eastern Ukraine that's getting hammered. There's a lot of arguing in here. People saying, yeah, not every citizen is fighting. I mean, it just is what it is. You've got, pow-pows and stuff. Eastern Ukraine, yeah, getting hammered day after day. I get it. When $2.5 billion goes over to Ukraine and you've got videos like this, it's not great optics. The whole thing needs to end. The whole conflict must end. No more money being sent over there. Clearly, it's not doing the job. And if it isn't wasteful government spending, sending it over to Ukraine, we've got stuff like this. 16 Haitians invaded have applied for asylum. This wasn't hard to predict. Now they will be put in luxury hotels, $84 a day for food. That costs us $82,000 a year. Meanwhile, 80,000 people in Ontario are homeless, freezing, and starving. As we see here, $84 per day per claimant based on January 2024 rates. Average cost of room, $140 per night. Our tax dollars go to these asylum claimants. These guys commit crimes, then they claim asylum. Oh, it wasn't me. I didn't mean it. I'm a refugee from my country. They're coming after me. I didn't mean to commit the crimes in your country. Our system is so dumb. Put them on a plane, send them back. Moving ahead, we got this story coming from the government. It says want temperature limits. So Blacklock's reporting on this one. Health Minister Marjorie Michel's department in a briefing note says the government will be establishing safe indoor temperature limits for people's homes. It says the department spokesperson last night said the document is not meant to be taken literally. It says what is government doing to protect people in Canada from health risks from extreme heat? Yeah, we don't live in the desert. I get it sometimes in the summertime, especially in Ontario, you get a couple weeks there where things get a little warm, but it goes on to mention the C word change. The government of Canada recognizes that extreme heat events are increasing in number, severity in Canada and can pose significant risks to human health in terms of heat-related illness and even death. This is more fear-mongering what's going on here. They're scaring Canadians. They're going to come up with this limit of temperature where you don't want that limit to be exceeded, and they'll probably pick something pretty low so it gets exceeded very easily, and they can scare Canadians that, oh my god, the temperature is changing. Everything is dangerous in Canada, dangerous in divided world. It's a rupture. It says Health Canada is working to fill evidence and guidance gaps related to indoor heat, the leading cause of heat-related death in Canada. The note said that the health department was committed to protecting people from climate change. Oh, it's so scary. This is ridiculous, guys. Like, come on. This is what they're wasting their time and energy on. We're spending money on this. In other news, we've got CTV reporting freezing rain floods Gaza camps and leaves displaced Palestinians in dire conditions. Oh my gosh, the freezing rain in Gaza in the desert. Okay, this is a case of CTV News lying to the public, as numerous people have replied and posted 14 degrees in Gaza. There's no freezing rain. As this guy said, it took 10 seconds to search the weather in Gaza today. Do better. The article titled, Winter Rain Floods Gaza Camps as Netanyahu Heads for U.S. Media.
What he didn't point out was the fact that it has 114 likes, but 364 comments, meaning people are roasting the shit out of CTV. There's a disconnect between Twitter and mainstream media, and Twitter's always so fast to call out their garbage. So that's very important to point out. People aren't just blindly accepting it, right? There's a lot of people that are pushing back on it. There's a lot of people that see this and go, who actually cares? Because I don't. I really don't fucking care. If you want my honest opinion, I don't care. The fact that this is even news for some reason, like, I don't give a shit.
Lying to the public, as numerous people have replied and posted 14 degrees in Gaza. There's no freezing rain. Winter rain lashes. This is made up garbage by somebody at CTV. It says here this was posted by the Associated Press. So they're pushing that through here, and they're like, yeah, go ahead, push this propaganda. If we look on the original post here on X, you can just see everyone fact checking. 17 degrees in Gaza. 17 degrees. 16 degrees. You got it in Fahrenheit. 14 degrees. It's going to be 18, 17, 19, 18. Where's the freezing rain in Gaza? It doesn't seem to exist. And I looked it up myself right here. 18 degrees in Gaza right now. No freezing rain. Let's play devil's advocate here. We're looking at the high 17. Let's look at the low in the middle of the night. What's it? 13 degrees. It's not freezing rain. 12 degrees, 12 degrees, 13 degrees. Where's the freezing rain? It very rarely freezes in Gaza. It is incredibly rare for it to get below zero. They get some temperatures that'll get down into 5 degrees around there. But to actually get freezing rain, maybe once a year at most. And regardless, that's not the case. 13 degrees. CTV lied. They lied to Canadians. Unfortunately, many Canadians are getting news from these people and trusting what they're putting out. With that, we've got CTV. Notice this reporter here, Abigail Binman. This is the same Abigail Binman that is pictured here with Mark Gerritsen. I don't know if they're married or what. Digging into it, this is Mark Gerritsen's wife here, Vanessa. So I don't know what's going on in this photo, but this is who's delivering our news. Interesting how chummy they are with the Liberals.
The Public Health Agency of Canada says we won't get another full flu snapshot from across the country until January 9th. More than 2 weeks away.
In other news, we got this one breaking. The Irish government has announced their intention to ban anonymous social media accounts. They want all accounts to be ID verified, and they want to introduce an under 16 ban similar to Australia. They're cracking down, same thing. It's no wonder why the Irish are revolting too. The Australians are revolting. Everyone's revolting against this draconian takeover of leftist governments in Western countries. They want to find out who's daring to criticize them so they can arrest them. Yeah. Meanwhile, they'll allow gangs from South Africa to ravage citizens, do unbelievable things, and these people don't get charged. But then they're going to crack down for people who criticize the government. And we've got this one here from the Toronto Sun. Elon Musk slams Canadian healthcare after Edmonton father perishes in the ER. This happened, I believe, just a day before Christmas. I didn't want to put this out right on Christmas Day. It was just too sad of a story. Father went to the emergency room following an 8-hour wait to see a doctor. So it goes on to say here that the guy had chest pains while at work on Monday, the 22nd. He was taken to the hospital in Northeast Edmonton. His father told the hospital staff that the pain was a 15 out of 10. Reportedly, they did an electrocardiogram and told the family here that there was nothing of significance and to keep waiting. He was given Tylenol to help manage the pain. And eventually, he saw his father die in the hospital, apparent heart attack, while waiting in the emergency. After sitting for 10 seconds, he looked up at me. He got up and put his hand on his chest and just crashed. The video got 9 million views. I mean, this is embarrassing to Canada. I mean, people are dying in the emergency room because we don't have enough doctors. They brought in too many people from outside of Canada. Our system can't handle it. Moving ahead, nothing says Christmas cheer like Palestinian protesters outside a church. Do these people really need to be outside this Christmas market protesting? Seriously? In other news, we've got another church burned to the ground in Canada. The Island Gospel Church in Burns Lake, British Columbia, just days before Christmas has been burned to the ground. That's over 120 churches that have now been vandalized or burned down in Canada to silence of our politicians. Yep, arson suspected. Of course it is. It's arson season. It's always arson season. In other news, we've got extreme cold pushes the Yukon power grid to the brink, and wonder if some net zero renewables would fix this. This will get perpetually worse as Mark Carney keeps pushing these mandates. In places where minus 50, the solar panels covered in snow is not going to work. They're pushing heat pumps on us, which don't work in these temperatures. It's Canadians in remote areas like this that are going to get affected first by Mark Carney's net zero agenda. What will be the result of all these carbon taxes, net zero, carbon capture and storage and all of that? It'll be this. As Desiree Fixler pointing out, congrats Germany, you've now beaten Britain. Your folks are paying the highest energy bills, all thanks to net zero. And that's what we see here, Germany on top now. They blew up all their nuclear reactors and now they are lacking their conventional cheap energy. They're having to pay through the nose for all the sustainable stuff that isn't efficient, and look at the costs. Think of how expensive things are in Canada right now. We're down here. We're actually pretty low right now considering this is about to spike for Canada with Mark Carney. While Mark Carney and Julie DeBrusen say that their carbon taxes, all their environmental taxes don't have effect on Canadians, we have real farmers here in Alberta who says it does.
We've got almost 400,000 birds here at the poultry operation, and you guys are having to pay the carbon tax every single day because you have no alternative to ensure that you keep those birds warm. But what has been the impact on your business, and not only on your business here, but on the food supply?
It's been tremendously hard because we haven't seen our final bills because the cold snap was within the last few weeks, but we will see it. But it's huge, and we're attacking our food supply. We as farmers we already work on a small margin, 3-4% at the most, and it's just volume. That's where the numbers come from. And we all need food. That's the most important thing. I mean, you go without a meal for a day and tell me what's important to you. I mean, if the cost of our shoes are more expensive or a new jacket, well, we can defer that for a few weeks. But when it comes to food, you can't. And we have to pass it to the consumer. And the consumer already is struggling to pay for it.
Well, thanks very much, John. I appreciate that. And that's a really important message to get out of that. This isn't just about you as a farmer, but the impact it's having on every single Canadian who is struggling to put food on the table.
And as it says here, right here in Okotoks, Alberta, the Keelstra farm pays over $180,000 in carbon taxes to produce food that families need. Wow. 180 grand. They could hire a couple more people. They could expand productions. This just goes to Mark Carney's grift. With that, we've got Table Salt here saying since being elected in April 2025, Carney has achieved zero GDP growth in Canada. We are totally stagnating. And as he's got it highlighted here, seasonally adjusted annual rates, all industries, April of 2025, 2.3 million, and October, 2.3 million. Yes, stagnating is correct. But he spent a lot of money to do it. That is correct. He is wasting our money in the process. But chart here showing impact of low versus high skilled immigration on GDP per capita. This is from St. Louis Fed and National Academics Model. And well, yeah, high skilled immigration increases GDP 0.7% per capita versus low skilled reduces it 0.3. That's what's happening right now. We used to bring in the best and brightest, these people, doctors and engineers, and now we're bringing in people who attack the doctors and engineers. People who burden our medical system. They don't add anything. They just take and take and take. Not to sound mean or whatever, but that's just the truth of it. That's the Coles notes. That's the numbers. The Liberals are bringing in people who are unvetted, who don't have skills, and they're broke. So they take money from Canadians and offer nothing in return but debt. The old system, people had to fight their way to get in here, and they had skills, and they would fight to be Canadian, and they would build a life here, and they were proud to be Canadian. It was a lot of work to become a Canadian. Once they got here, they made something of their life. Now, all of those people, all of the native-born Canadians like myself, are paying for all these low-skill, no-skill immigrants coming in who are just burdening the system. These are plane loads of people straight from South Asia who are trying to make their life better, get away from a bad situation. Unfortunately, we're funding it. That's not fair to Canadians. Here we've got 3 men accused of hunting women and Jews on Toronto streets as part of a H-word plot. The men are accused of alleged H-motivated extremism, and one of the men was also charged with an ISIS-linked terror lord offenses. Great. I'm glad the Liberals just allow this stuff to flow into Canada. Moving ahead, we got Sundurn with this one. Absolutely insane home invasion where 2 criminals executed a heist of over $200,000 by breaking in and avoiding detection. going prone across the floor. This is one of the most bizarre home invasions I've seen, and I've seen a lot of these.
This is one of the craziest home invasion videos I've ever seen. The family sent me this video. 2 criminals came in from the backyard. They broke the glass and the double glass sliding doors. They sit here in the kitchen. They go full prone across the house.
You can only laugh at this. This is so dumb. Look at this. What's this, Mission Impossible?
Are about to steal over $200,000 worth of gold, watches, jewelry, and carpets. Look at this.
This is so dumb. So what they do is they crawl past the sensors, they go downstairs, they shut off the power and the security system, and then they're able to steal all this gold and jewelry and stuff.
And by the time the homeowner called the police, it took them 25 minutes. Look at this. All the way prone. Look at this. Just sliding down the stairs. I have never seen anything like this. This is crazy.
This is crazy. Too bad there wasn't a hungry dog there to a little chow time on these guys. These guys need to be rounded up, thrown in a jail. They got to be working 10 hours a day, 10 years apiece. If they don't work, they don't eat. We need to have new rules in this country. Canadians crawl more like walrus from Nunavut. These folks crawl like snakes from the Serengeti. Those are terrible motion sensors. Yes, they are. Just leave your keys at the door, you'll be fine. Isn't that the advice the police gave? Yeah, it is. They said, go ahead, leave your keys by the door so they can steal your car. An inside job. Well, that's just it. They have to know that that stuff's there and where to go and shut off all this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like the chief of Toronto or something like that. He was pretty much like, yeah, just let them do whatever they want.
Maybe these guys came in as some sort of contractor installing HVAC or whatever it may be, something, air conditioning, and then they knew where stuff is and they came back. Moving ahead, this is an interesting one. Ontario lawyer arrested in Ryan Wedding case granted bail. Remember Ryan Wedding here, as Melissa points out, unbelievable. Of course, in Canada, apparently you can be involved in an international street candy smuggling network and be granted bail. This is the Liberals' record right here, just served up on a platter. This is what it is. You want to be one of the worst people in society? Don't worry. We'll take care of you. Terror lord from the Middle East, come on over. We'll give you citizenship. You can terrorize all our citizens. And don't worry, the police won't do anything about it. And if the Canadians fight back, they'll be punished. Welcome to Canada.
A possible development in the hunt for a former Olympic snowboarder. Mexican authorities say they've raided multiple properties linked to alleged Canadian drug kingpin Ryan Wedding. CTV's Kamal Karmali joins us now. Kamal, how much closer does this bring authorities to an arrest?
Heather, this could be a big step forward in authorities closing in on and arresting former Olympic snowboarder turned fugitive Ryan Wedding. Mexican authorities seizing dozens of motorcycles, art, and ammunition. The raids carried out at 4 properties in and around Mexico City. Mexican police say the raids are related to a former Olympic athlete considered one of the 10 most wanted fugitives by U.S. authorities, not naming Ryan Wedding directly, but the former Olympic snowboarder has been at the center of a decade-long manhunt.
It appears to me that they're closing in on him.
Wanted for allegedly running a criminal enterprise that...
Holy crap. Yeah, I remember reading something about 3 months or so ago. They were calling him like this generation, like the modern day Pablo Escobar. And my God, they had how many motorcycles, they said? Holy Christ, look at them all.
Authorities seizing running a criminal enterprise that moves tons of illicit drugs to the U.S. and Canada. Earlier this year, he was accused of orchestrating the murder of a witness who was set to testify against him. His Toronto lawyer granted bail earlier this week after being arrested for allegedly counseling Wedding to carry out the murder.
He granted bail. After orchestrating taking out someone testifying against him, they let this guy out. This is how dumb our country is. And now they've put a...
That doesn't shock me. That's pretty much Canada in a nutshell right now. All right, that's going to do it for today's live stream. Thank you all for joining on YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. We went over the Nick Shirley stuff, went over a bit of Canadian stuff. I will be live potentially tomorrow for whatever is going on. I'm not sure. Don't have anything lined up yet, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day or night, depending on where you are from. Adios, everyone.
Bounty on this guy, $15 million US.
The ramping up the reward for Wedding to $15 million.
I mean, some of these guys would turn their buddies in for a steak dinner, let alone millions of dollars. So I think we're starting to see that getting closer and closer.
But authorities say Wedding is under the protection of the powerful criminal